Hi guys, what's going on? My name is Kurt from wheelindex.co.za, and today I'm going to do a quick DIY on how to replace the cam follower on your Golf 5 GTI. Now this is the cam follower, it's this little guy, and this is a pretty known part to wear prematurely on these engines, the 2-liter turbo FSI engines. And the problem is actually this side. So this side is where my finger is. This is where the plunger of the high pressure fuel pump, it actually knocks against this follower, and then this follower actually runs on the cam lobe, and it just wears out prematurely. And it's just something that you need to check on these cars, because the problem is if this thing actually wears through, it damages the intake camshaft, and then it's just a whole list of things you need to replace unnecessarily. And this thing is about $500, and if you can check it regularly and replace it, you can save yourself a ton of money, because you don't want to be replacing camshafts or your high pressure fuel pump. Also, if your car is modified, so if you have some software on your car, you got some hardware mods, you definitely need to check this guy quite regularly, because you don't want to be in a predicament where you're actually wearing out your camshaft without knowing it. So I would say if you're modified, every 5,000 to say 8,000 kilometers, and if you're not modified, every second service should be fine. So that would probably be every 30,000 Ks. You should check it, and you should probably replace it, because it's actually very inexpensive to replace, and there's not a whole lot of effort involved as well. I'll take you through the DIY. Let's get into it. Guys, as always, before you work, you need to be aware of the safety precautions you need to take for the job. And as you know from my previous videos, I'm quite paranoid about safety, because I do actually want to live another day. So firstly, what you need to understand is that the high pressure fuel pump system is pressurized, and the pressure can reach up to 120 bar. And if you don't know what 122 bar pressure is like, go to the garage, pump up your tire 120 bar, and you take a knife and then you stab the tire. That is how much pressure is actually in the fuel system in front at the high pressure fuel pump. So the first thing that you need to do is relieve the pressure within the high pressure fuel pump system safely. And the way we are going to do that is there's a specific sensor on the fuel pump that we need to remove, and then we need to idle the car for 10 seconds, and that procedure will relieve the pressure within the system. And then of course, when you work on the fuel system, you got to wear these are safety glasses, and they also have this protection on the side. I bought this from Ardendorf's for 10 Rand, so it's like super cheap to get going. Let's start with the process to relieve the existing pressure within the high pressure fuel pump and the fueling system. So what we need to do is we actually need to remove the sensor over here, and we need to idle the car for 10 seconds, and that process is going to relieve the pressure within the system. Now there's a few other ways you could do it as well. You can disconnect the battery, and there's a fuse that you can remove. That VW, they give you the details of the fuse. I'm not keen on removing the battery, because I don't want to tamper with any electronics on my dashboard, and I'm not in the mood to go look for a fuse. Cooper's helping me tonight. Okay, cool. So here's the sensor. I've popped it off. Let's just get some light going. Okay, so this sensor goes over here, and this is why you need your picking tool, because you just actually need to get in underneath there, like right there, and lift it up, and then you press there, and that's how you get it off. Don't break this thing, because you're gonna struggle to sort this out. Just get a picking tool. It's quite cheap, and you definitely need it for this job. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna proceed to idle the car for 10 seconds to relieve the pressure. Alright, my car's in neutral. Let's start the thing and idle it for 10 seconds. There you can already hear the fuel pump's not going on. I know what it sounds like, it's not on, so let's start it. Okay, it struggled to start, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, cool. The next thing we need to do is we need to remove this thrust sensor over here, and again you're going to use the picking tool, and it's the same process. So I'm not going to go into details of that because it's actually exactly the same. So what I'm going to do now is, before I do that, this PCV pipe is in the way here, so I'm just gonna proceed to take this off. I'm not left, but I can get it off. I'll use my right hand for this. Where do you press? Over there. So you just press over here, where you'll see it. It looks like the pipe's got little grooves. Let's see. Oopsie, there we go. And there's the PCV pipe off. And like I said, it's pretty much the same story and process like this one over here. So the thrust sensor, you also use a picking tool. You just get your picking tool in there, lift up the plastic and pull. Super easy to come off. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to use our next tool, which is a 13 spanner. Like pretty standard 13 spanner. And we're going to use it over here to relieve the pressure. So you take this cap, you just turn it off. And this valve is actually the valve that we're going to use to release the remaining pressure that's in the fuel system. I'm just going to put a rag here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually just going to pull off this this vacuum pipe, because it's just going to make my life easier. It's going to make my life a lot easier when I take this off with a 13. So let's pull it off. It's quite easy to come off. This must actually be replaced because it's broken anyways. It's a hard pipe. Try not to damage these pipes, because this whole pipe assembly is about 1,000 Rand from VW, so it's safer to take it off than trying to work and damage it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 13 over here now. First put my rags there at the bottom, and we're going to catch any remaining fuel. So let's go for it. That was quite tight. Okay, that's loose. I'll turn it with my hand, and then yeah, I can already smell the fuel. So let's see how much fuel is actually going to come out. It wouldn't be a lot. It's definitely not 120 bar pressure. There's some fuel coming out, but it's minor. Alright, so we've drained all our fuel now from the release valve, and what we're going to do is we're going to come down at the bottom here to the hard line. So there's two lines here. There's this line and there's this one over here, and we're going to use a 17 spanner, and we're going to turn loose over here on the hard line, not over there where the brass coupling is. We're going to turn loose over here. So I'm going to turn this loose now with a 17 spanner, and then we'll get back with the camera. Okay, so I've popped the hard line now, and I just actually wanted to show you how easy it is to loosen this hard line. So once you've popped the hard line and you've removed some of the torque on this nut over here, you can actually turn it with your finger like this. Get in there and you can slide it down, and then this hard line is actually loose. You can actually move this hard line. This hard line is loose. You might get a little bit of fuel that come out. So just make sure you have your rags close by. I should actually be wearing protective fuel gloves, but I'm not. Anyways, next step, what we're going to do is we're going to remove these T30s. That's this one, and that one over there. There we go. And then those three bolts are the only actual bolts that secure this high pressure fuel pump now. Once we've released those bolts, we'll be able to pull the high pressure fuel pump back, and we can access the follower. Let's proceed. The next step is to unmount the high pressure fuel pump. You have to release three bolts, which I just mentioned. It's this one, and then this one at the bottom. And what you're going to use is you're going to use this T30. Yeah, I just use this. These things aren't torqued very tight. It's It's very easy to release. Do not make these bolts loose. This and that. That's not necessary. So the high pressure fuel pump is off now, and I'm actually going to inspect the follower. So let me just remove the pump and then we'll have a look at the follower. Okay, so the high pressure fuel pump is removed now, and before I remove the follower to inspect it, I just want to show you that that is actually the location of where the follower is sitting. As you can see over here, this over there is actually the follower sitting inside its seat, and it's sitting right up against the camshaft, the intake camshaft, and we're going to remove that guy, clean it up and inspect it, and then I'm also going to peek through that hole and see what my lobe looks like on my intake camshaft. Okay guys, the cam follower has been removed, and on the left hand side over here I actually have the new follower, and then on the right hand side I have the old follower. I'll put some light on the old follower to show you what it looks like. So as you can see over there, there's some marks on the follower of the actual fuel pump plunger, but this follower is actually still in very good condition, and it can actually still do quite a bit of kilometers. If I could estimate, probably say maybe 8,000, 10,000 kilometers pushing it. But like I said, this thing is 500 and it's so cheap to replace that I'm not going to wait for something to go wrong or for my fuel pump plunger to hit right through the follower against my camshaft. It's too risky for me. I'm just going to put in this new follower. Okay, we are ready to put everything back together, but before we do that, I just want to highlight that you do want to clean this area up a little bit, outside where the face of the pump is going to mount, and also inside this well area you also want to clean up as well. And then you also want to make sure that the camshaft lobe is facing flat, like this part is facing you, and not this part of the lobe. So the flat part and not this part. Sorry about the focus. But anyways, and then you just want to make sure that let's get here's the fuel pump. So the head of the fuel pump, let's try to focus on the plunger head. Okay, struggling with this focus, but you just want to check the fuel pump in front. Just check the plunger, make sure there's no additional wear on the plunger itself, and then assembly is pretty much the reverse of how we took everything off. And then what you also need to do or check is that I bought this kit, and it actually came with these 3 bolts over here, and this O-ring for the fuel pump. I'm not going to put this O-ring on because I'm not quite happy with the way the surface of this O-ring is. This is a round surface, and the current O-ring on the pump, which is over the year, it's got a flat surface, so I'm not convinced that that O-ring is gonna fit. It probably would. I'm not gonna take the risk now because that O-ring looks okay. But yeah, that's pretty much the process. It's not that difficult to do. I'll put everything together now and just take you over it. Okay guys, so I've put in the new follower now. I just want to mention to you, before you put the follower in, just lube it up very nicely with some fresh oil. I have some fresh engine oil left here at home, so I just dipped the follower nicely in oil, and now it's all lubed up and ready to roll. So let's put the high pressure fuel pump on. Here's everything back assembled. So I've installed the cam follower now. I've reinstalled the high pressure fuel pump, and I've connected all the lines, and I've put all my pipes and my sensors back. So let's talk about torque settings. So this setting over here is 10 Newton meters for these bolts. This hard line at the bottom here, this hard line that we took off, sorry for the focus, that's 27, but you need a special tool for that, so I just tightened it to what was reasonable. It wasn't that tight. And then there's a torque setting. There is no torque setting for this one. Yeah, that's about it. I put your sensors back, I put my vacuum pipe back, I put my PCV pipe back over here, and everything should be hunky-dory. I'm going to start the car now, let it idle for a bit, take it for a test drive. But yeah, that's about it. Guys, that's how simple it is to replace the cam follower. My name is Kurt from wheelindex.co.za. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It's quite easy to replace your cam follower if you have the correct tools and you follow some safety precautions. And yeah, happy motoring. Catch you back next time. Cheers.